All right, test 1, test 2, test 3. How is everyone doing tonight? Let me see if you can hear me. You can. Nice. What's up, Z? What's going on, man? Glad you are here. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a few housekeeping things as I always do. Alright, posted that in our Discord server. Hey, what's up, Nightmare? Good to see you, good to see you. Alright, let me turn the music down a little bit in my ears. I feel like I'm yelling. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. My wife and I, today is our 28th, I can't speak, 28th wedding anniversary. But we spent some time, a little overnight trip on Thursday, Friday, and so that's why I couldn't stream on Thursday night. So yeah, things are really good. I had a good time. I took the weekend off. Normally I work Saturdays and Sundays. So yeah, I took Saturday and Sunday off this week, and yeah, hanging out with you guys. So excited. I'll tell you a little bit about some of the card shops I visited. I visited 2 card shops while we were on our little getaway, and just some fun conversations I had with the shop employee and shop owner at those 2 shops. Picked up some cards. I picked up a couple of packs here. Picked up a Mega Evolution and a Phantasmal Flames pack. Cost me on average about $10 a piece. But I thought that'd be fun to open. I don't know that I'm going to open. Yeah, maybe I'll open both. I also have like 3 or 4 Chaos Rising packs still left as well. So I'm going to do that. Let's do a 5 super chat goal of $2 or higher for the next 2 hours. And I always forget this part. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's June 20th of 1998. That's when we got married. Let's see here. Here's the super chat thing. It's so difficult for my brain once I start live streaming to get everything set up with all the goals and stuff like that. Maybe I could do it a little bit differently, but here we go. Start goal. All right, there we go. Super chat goal is underway. What's up, Nick? Hey, Nick, did you get your card? I think you said you got your card in Discord. Your card from the 1,000 sub. Man, so sorry for the delay on that. Just as I was about to go live last Thursday, I wanted to check before, because I was going to re-roll for the things that hadn't been yet claimed. Oh, thanks for this sub, Nightmare. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're a builder now. Yeah, I came up with some different names. I don't know if that's a good name, but yes, sir. Oh, good. But yeah, I was checking because I had like three prizes that weren't claimed, and I was like, let me go check in my inbox. I didn't see anything there, but I know you're often here in our live streams. It's like Nick would have certainly reached out to me by now, and so I went and looked in my spam folder. There was nothing in there, but it was like in the junk folder for some reason. And so I marked your email address as not junk anymore. So hopefully that won't happen again should you need to communicate with me. But yeah, thanks for the subscription. Man, really appreciate it. I need to put that in the super chat notes too that you subbed today. But yeah, so I picked up a few packs. What I might do is I'll maybe flip a coin to either open the Phantasmal or the Mega, and then I'll open up a Chaos Rising pack too. I had those left over. Had some left over from one of my booster bundles. From see, how many do I have left? 3 left. Yeah, I'll tell you why I picked up some booster packs. So I got 3 Chaos Risings left too. I typically don't pick up loose boosters after a release, but I'll tell you why here in just a minute. Hey, Johnny, doing good. Thanks for dropping in tonight. Appreciate you. Yeah, I didn't know I was just telling everybody that today is actually my wedding anniversary, but my wife and I spent some time away on Thursday and Friday celebrating, and so she's off picking up my daughter from a little hangout with some of her friends. She's been hanging out with her friends all day, and I took the weekend off this weekend for Father's Day. I guess tomorrow's Father's Day. Yes, also. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, for those of you that are dads on the stream. But also, we got married the day before Father's Day in 1998 as well. So yeah, thank you. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a good anniversary. It was a good trip, and I visited a couple little card shops there. One that's typically not open on Thursdays, and they happen to be open for first Thursdays that they've been open this summer. And so it was really cool to talk to them. Oh, I just got a notification that an Amazon delivery has been dropped off. That's at the stairs right there. I'm not going to deal with that right now. Yeah, another one that a guy about a year and a half ago pivoted from working in insurance to opening his own shop. So those were fun conversations to have with those shop owners. Each shop was a little different, a little unique. Certainly was interesting to think about what would it look like if I ever decided to do something like a brick and mortar, like after talking to some of them. But the town that I was in is a town of 4,200 people in Cannon Falls, Minnesota is where we were. But yeah, I'm also trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace. And it's getting some traction right now for personal, for my son. It's a punching bag that he's had for a while. And this person must not speak much English because he's speaking in very broken English. So I'm trying to help him navigate where we're at if he wants to buy it and pick it up. But it was a fun little trip that my wife and I had. We got to eat some good food, got to sleep in, just got to do, my wife and I, when we vacation, we're not the kind of people that just do tons and tons and tons of stuff. We really like to kind of just chill, which has been fantastic. And so, yeah, we just did some chilling. She loves to read on her Kindle. I was goofing around on my computer. And I'm actually going to send a link to the stream tonight from all my buddies back in Texas. Let me see here. Where's my crew here? There we go. See if they hop in. Let's see. Z says, went to Dollar Tree today and the manager told me to come back on Wednesday. That's when they're getting their shipments of Pokemon. Guess I'll be going to Dollar Tree on Wednesday. Yeah, I've got a buddy of mine named Greg. He's one of my gaming buddies. I actually grew up with him. And he says he has luck going in on Saturdays. Apparently, if you spend a certain amount or there's a coupon or something that's like a standing coupon at his Dollar Tree. I'm assuming it's Dollar Tree. Maybe it's Dollar General. I get all those confused. And he's had luck finding packs in there and then using that coupon to get them even below retail. And so I was like, man, I may need to do that. But typically I'm working on Saturdays and not driving around to dollar stores. So yeah, we'll have to check that out. But yeah, up here it's just the hunger for Pokemon cards is insatiable up here in the Twin Cities. It is very, very difficult to find them. There's card shows every weekend. There's a big card show down at the St. Paul River Center today, but there's an entry fee, which right off the bat, if you're someone that's going in to buy cards to resell them, the entry fee is really kind of counterproductive. You're already in the hole a little bit if you're going to try to flip the cards. So what's a guy to do? Let's talk about that. Card shows that have entry fees. What is an entry fee that you'd be willing to pay? Like, what is something that seems reasonable? Now, I know we could debate, like, how big of a card show is it? You know, are you going in as a collector or are you going in as a reseller? I'm assuming some of you that are in the, if you're following my channel, if you're following my content, a lot of you might be resellers. But what would be a reasonable, like, hey, I'm willing to pay this for access to all of these different vendors and all these different Pokemon cards? What is an entry fee or a fee that you'd be willing to pay to go into a card show? What can you tolerate? Hey, there's my friend Greg. Greg says Dollar General. Okay, so Dollar General has these Saturday coupons. Greg, remind me, how does it work? It's like, is it just a coupon for anything, or is it a purchase of like $20 or more? I can't remember what you told me about that. Yeah, we do also have, let me make sure my chat is set up properly here. Yeah, thanks for joining tonight's stream. Super chat goal of 5 tonight if you'd like to participate. $5 top. So it's just, you can just take $5 off of a purchase. Gotcha. And do you find that, is that like an in-store thing, Greg? Or is it a, like you have to get it out of the newspaper, or it's just a standing thing they do every Saturday to get customers to come in? Oh, $25. If you spend $25, you get $5 off. Gotcha. Okay. 5 or 10 if it's big. Oh, if it's a big card show, you'd be willing to pay 5 or 10. Greg had no luck today. Yeah. Well, that's so funny. I see. That's funny. Z, I see your chat over here on my Meld Studios, but I don't see it over here in the chat on the YouTube chat. That's weird. Huh, I wonder why it popped up on this side and not this side. That is odd. I guess I need to pay. It caught the corner of my eye. So Z says he'd be willing to pay $5 or $10 as an entry fee to get into a big show. Greg says you get 1 coupon for any purchase during the week also. Greg, I know you go to a lot of card shows. What are you willing to pay for entry fees and card shows? Now, my favorite one to go to around here, there's a mall that's about 15 minutes from my house that at least once a month they have a card show. I need to start going in there to pick up inventory. I really need to prioritize going in on Fridays and trying to make some deals and picking up some cards. Yeah, what would you be willing? Everybody answer this for me. Yeah, Z, it popped up on both that time when you typed in weird, but I don't know, for some reason Z, do you see your chat where you said $5 or $10 if it's big? Do you see it in the YouTube chat? Maybe it's an issue on mine. Yeah, Greg said I'm willing to pay $5 tops for an entry fee to get into. Of course, you're probably paying for you and your son if you're doing that too. I don't know, maybe it's cheaper for kids versus the other. It shows there's 6 of you in here. What are you willing to pay? Man, I think there was one here recently that it was like $20 to get in, and I'm like, $20? I better get a free pack of cards for that. You know, every entry gets like a free pack or something. Good grief. I was like, $20. You get like a snack bar voucher or something with that. Okay, you can see your chat in both. Huh, that's weird. I just need to keep an eye on both of them going on over here. That is odd. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes and I'm going to rip a pack. Rip a pack. I don't know. Let's see. I got the Phantasmal and the Mega Evolution packs, and then I've got 3 Chaos Rising packs, so we'll see what we get. Nick says, I'm not sure what I'd be willing to pay. I've never gone to a card show. Yeah, at some point, like, if a card show is too big, I mean, like, you have the National Card Show. I think that's usually in the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth. I know they had the big Southern California card show recently. You know, that's more of a spectacle. They have, like, you know, people are skateboarding inside the exhibit hall. There's all kinds of activities and arcades and stuff. I think if it was one that was more than just, it was more of an experience and not just card, you know, vendors set up, I'd be willing to pay a little something because you're paying for the entertainment and maybe access, like the big Southern SoCal Gaming Expo. You know, they have like a little museum set up of like old video game systems that you can play. They had like a museum set up of like gaming clothing from the years. So they had like old like Nintendo you know, t-shirts from employees and jackets, and you know, so you're like, you're going in and you're, you know, you're getting access not only to a bunch of vendors, but and also that one would be more like, yes, there'd be Pokemon cards in there, but there'd also be like old video game systems and that nostalgia piece as well. And so you're seeing things that maybe you haven't seen since you were a kid, old action figures, stuff like that. I think for a show like that maybe is a little bit more broad and less just one flavor, I'd be willing to pay for. But if it was just card table after card table after card table after card table, I don't know that I'd be willing to pay more than $5 or $10. So Greg says, my local show has gotten bigger but not better, overcrowded, and tends to be the same stuff over and over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because like if it was all, let's say it was like 80% Pokemon and like / One Piece / Magic, and then like 20% sports cards. Yeah, I think over time. Cameron, what's up, man? Good to see you. I think over time it would get a little mind-numbing. I mean, even my little one here at the local mall, there's so many tables over time, I just kind of get like decision fatigue and get overwhelmed with everything that's going on. So we're talking about how much would you be willing to pay to go into a card show, Cameron? That's the topic at hand. I think I'd be fine with a normal fee, Nick says, $5 a person or something. It would just ensure the people there are more serious about being at the show and not just wandering to check out what's going on. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that's, yeah, $5 to $10, I'm willing to do it, especially if there is some kind of experiential piece to it to where, you know, I do like the ones that have like maybe an arcade set up and they've got like a bunch of old retro arcade cabinets or pinball machines and stuff set up. I enjoy that kind of stuff too, so. Cameron says, I listed a ton of more singles and sealed today. Already did 1,000 gross sales in 3 hours. Dang, bro, go get them. Everybody's talking about this summer slump, and Cameron's just like, nah. Hold my. I don't know if you're 21 yet. Hold my beer. Hold my Polar Pop. Hold my Polar Pop, he says. Yeah, man, I've been struggling to get inventory, as my last video talks about, but I got scrappy yesterday and went through all my bulk, pulled out all of my hollows and my reverse hollows, and just started listing them for minimum 30 cents a piece. Getting some action on there. 22. Okay, people can hold your beer then. Nightmare says, here in Las Vegas, we have one that's called Front Row Card Show and can feel a little overcrowded at times, but does a few giveaways and trade nights. Yeah, Nightmare, I was just watching, you got two prominent Pokemon sellers there in Vegas. They do a podcast. I was watching their latest episode today, and they said they're both in Vegas. Let me go see. Gotta look at my history on my YouTubes. Card Lounge is the name of... Let me see here. Let me get... Yeah, these guys. Yeah, these guys here. What's their name? Robo Skills and TB Jake. Jake and Robo, they were saying. They're really smart, articulate dudes. I was really enjoying their content. But yeah, this is their, I think this is, yeah, their 74th episode. But I just caught a nugget halfway through the conversation that they said they were both out in Vegas. And so I didn't know that's where they were. But yeah, especially the guy on the left. I don't know which one he is, if he's Jake or Robo. Maybe you guys know. Hey, what's up, Seth? Yeah, my wife and I's, actually our wedding anniversary is today, but we've been celebrating the last 2 days. And so we were gone Thursday night, did a little overnight trip to Cannon Falls, Minnesota, and went to a couple card shops. And so I was like, hey, let's stream on Saturday. My wife's picking up my daughter from hanging out with some friends today. And so I was like, you know what, I can stream on Saturday. We're going to open up some packs too here in a minute. About 7:30, I'm going to open my first one. But yeah, let me tell you guys a little about... when we went on our little trip, Cannon Falls, Minnesota is a town of like 4,200 people. So I was not expecting anything exciting when it came to card shops, because I can't couldn't imagine that a town that size would have more than one card shop, much less two card shops. And it's funny, as one of the stories, when I was talking to the owner of one of those, but Seth's White Fox says, "Happy anniversary! Been at church camp all weekend with the boys. Oh, all week, so relaxing and recovering." Yeah, for sure, man. I remember those days back when I did youth ministry. Oh my goodness, exhausting. So the first shop that I stopped at, it said it was closed on Thursdays, but my wife and I were having coffee across the street. It was called Rewind Comics and Cards. And it both, obviously when it has comics and cards on the neon sign on the window, I was like, well, surely they've got some cards. And so we were drinking coffee across the street, and all of a sudden I saw someone cleaning the window, and then the open sign came on. And I was like, I looked on my app again, because I'd done a little research, a little intel before we went on our trip to see if there were any card shops in the area. And I was like, oh, they're open. So we went over there, and you walked in, and I guarantee you this store, I didn't get to talk to the owner, but I guarantee you the guy that owns this store is like my age. He's definitely Gen X, because you walk in and there's all these vinyl albums like Nirvana, the very first Nirvana album, lots of like albums from that time period, like 80s, 90s. And then like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, like vintage Castle Grayskull, lots of Star Wars merchandise, lots of manga, comic books, but all incredibly, there's no dust in the place. Everything is very well kept. But at the front, the glass counter was full of Magic cards, Pokemon, they had a Pokemon binder, and they had two really expensive Pokemon cards in the glass case. But they had a binder of Pokemon cards and sports cards, but it was a lot. While the front had a lot of cards in it, the big piece de la resistance was in the back, as far as like comics and that nostalgia vibe back in the back. I could have spent more time there, but I wanted to make sure my wife didn't think I was, I wasn't there on business. I was there to spend some time with my wife. And so the two boys behind the counter, they couldn't have been more than 15 years old. Two friends, I would assume. And one of them was very, very, like, you could tell he was training the other one. And so I asked about Pokemon cards, and he said, "Here's the Pokemon binder," and he handed it to me, and I started flipping through, and I was like, there's some decent cards in here. Nightmare said, "I just started to watch Card Lounge about a week ago. They were very informative and looked to be great people. I didn't know they were Vegas-based till I heard that nugget as well." Yeah, you have to find out if they're maybe they're part of some of those card shows. I don't know that I've ever seen any like vendor POVs with them or anything, but I like their takes on stuff. I've been watching them on Instagram for a while, but I didn't know they had a full-blown podcast. So he gives me the binder, and I tell him, like, hey, I do YouTube content, I sell trading cards online, and I'm just looking, I've had a hard time getting inventory. At first, he was wanting to make me a deal on the entire binder. He's like, well, we've had a hard time moving these cards, like, I can make you a deal on the whole binder. And number one, I didn't have time to go through there and do some just spot comps, because, my wife, she was at the antique store next door. I knew she wasn't going to take long in there because we had some plans for dinner that night. And so I was like, okay, first I said yes. And he started going through it, and he got about halfway through, and he told me, hey, I'm up to about $200 right here. And I'm just like, okay, let's do this. Let's focus in on IRs, SIRs, full arts. That's kind of more my sweet spot, the modern for all that stuff. And so he's like, all right, cool. So then he starts pulling cards out, and I think the collection came up to like, I don't know, whatever it was, he like comped me out like 60%. He's like, hey, I'll take 60% for all of this. And I was like, oh, really? And it was only like 20, 25 cards. It wasn't a lot of cards. And, but when he told me the price, I did the math really quick, and I was like, it was like 62%. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, when I got home, 3 of the cards were lightly played, and so maybe that came off a couple dollars, but the margin was so good. But he said that he recognized me from YouTube. Like, he said, I've actually watched a couple of your videos, which was the first time I've had anything like that happen. But I don't know if YouTube's, like, when it does its test, like when it sends my videos out, the algorithm, if it does it to people that are interested in cards in a specific geographic region. But he was like, yeah, I've actually seen some of your content. So that was fun, and I was able to buy some cards and felt good about that. It was a great experience. My wife was impressed with the store as well. And then when we went to dinner that night, it was a couple miles away from where that shop was. Yeah, it was super cool, Seth. Super, super cool. It was a place, so that place was called Rewind, and then the other place was called the Old Night Games. But it was like on the tail end of paparazzi following me around. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I got to get a P.O. box before that happens. So I'm not sending my address out to everybody that buys cards from me. But the next place was called the Old Night Games, and I could tell from the pictures on well, actually, you know what? I could probably let me pull up some pictures online so you can see these shops. So I can, and I gave them. I need to go and give them Google reviews as well. Yeah, so Rewind here was very much a small, like, literally this door is shared with two businesses. Rewind is this long skinny one here, and there was like a lawyer's office next door. But yeah, so here's some of the, can I make that any bigger? I don't know that I can. So yeah, here's some of the albums inside, some of the different comic books and video games they had. This was the card section, and so I was standing down here. These are mostly Magic. I think Magic is more popular because even the other shop I went to is more Magic. They actually had more, they had shelves and stuff on the wall when I went in, so this must be early days. But it was well maintained. Oh yeah, this looks way different than it does now. This was all full of all of this was full of showroom stuff. So these must be like, oops, didn't mean to do that. This must have been when it first opened up. Let's see. Let me see if I can go back here. But it was a great shop. I wonder if there's any more. Oh yeah, here's his Instagram. Yeah, he had a lot of Korean Pokemon cards, which I wasn't really interested in. Yeah, lots of books. Yeah, cassette tapes. I had a bunch of cassette tapes in there. Some Funko Pops, some old Nintendo games. It was super cool. Baseball, wax era. Yeah, but it was a really neat shop. Oh, they must have closed one day because of snow. But yeah, I was really impressed with their shop, and would definitely would go back. In fact, I might call them from time to time to see if they have inventory they're trying to get rid of. Might work out a deal. So on that. But then the other shop I went to was called the Old Night Games. Let me see here. Classic hobby shop. Let me see if I can find a picture. It's a little sketchy to go into if you look at it from the outside, because there's like no windows from the outside. Yeah, this is the door. This is the door that you go in. So like there's no window, and there's just this metal door here. And but yeah, it was a really neat shop. Let me see here. Yeah, when I went in, this must have been early as well, because all of these cabinets, there was a lot more merchandise and things on the walls. The playing area had more warmth on the walls. Yeah, the owner was sitting back behind the counter here. That's the Old Night. Definitely a Magic-centric board game shop. A lot of this is going to be advertisements. But I had an interesting conversation with that owner. Go back to the cassette tapes. Physical media is making a return. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't forget we got a 5 super chat goal tonight too, guys. If anybody wants to participate, $2 or more, that'd be fun. But we were talking like when I walked in and explained to him, you know, that I sell online, YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, cards live in all sorts of shops. He immediately, Magic is the biggest margin moneymaker for game shops, according to a local shop owner I know. He pulled out some bangers. Like he pulled out a base set Charizard. He pulled out one of the Mewtwo's from Destined Rivals that's worth almost $500. He pulled out a bunch of heavy hitters and put them up on the counter. And before I even started comping them out, looking at them, and they were all comped within like a percentage point of what the actual market was for each one. So he had obviously done a good job. But he was a guy that he started in insurance, and Rewind and the Old Night Games did not know each other. They didn't know they were both opening up a card shop, but Rewind is a little bit more than just cards, whereas the Old Night Games is certainly miniatures, Magic, Pokemon, that kind of stuff, whereas Rewind is a little bit more nostalgia with some cards in the front. But Rewind opened up 3 days before the Old Night, and they didn't know each other was opening up a card shop in this little town of 4,200 people. But it looks like Rewind has, young teenage boys that are employees, whereas the Old Night, it's the gentleman, like he runs and operates it, and he's there, he's the one that's there. He doesn't have any employees. But the amount of inventory he had behind the counter was insane, just rows and rows and rows of boxes and stuff like that. But the challenge was immediately when we started talking, going like, he buys cards from customers at 70%. I need to buy cards at around 70% so that I can make profit on them. And so as we were talking, it was just it was interesting. It was like, even though he has a brick and mortar and I'm doing online sales, there was an instant camaraderie where we had shorthand in the way that we were speaking. Like we understood we were likely not going to be able to make a deal because he, oh, thanks Nightmare. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All right, we got four more goal. Thank you. That helps out a lot. Appreciate that. And so at the end of the day, like he was willing to come off some of his cards a little bit, but the whole lot that I was interested in that was going to be close to, I don't know, $600. But it was only like literally a handful of cards, maybe 10 cards total. So they were all big, heavy hitters, good solid cards. He was only willing to come off of them to the degree that if I had sold them on TCG Player and subtracted the fees, I would have just broken even. That's all I would have done was broken even. And I understood his lack of willingness to come down, because I talked to him. I said, here's the thing that people don't understand. I said, I get this question a lot in my live streams. Alan, do you ever want to open up a brick and mortar? And I was like, people just don't realize. And he was like, overhead. He's like, rent. And I said, yeah, I tell them, like, if your air conditioning goes out or your plumbing gets backed up or someone slips and falls in your store, there's insurance involved. You got to have insurance. I said, and you're not even paying employees. We'd already talked that he was the only employee there because that's his shop. I was like, if I came in here and I bought a card from you and you made $15 on the card, that pays for 1 hour of work for, one of your employees to be here. And then you got to file taxes with the state, with the federal government. You've got to do all these other things. He's like, yeah. I said, how are you doing in business? He said, I'm making do. He said, it's going pretty well. He said, we've got a good thriving community that comes out to my shop and stuff like that. But I was kind of bummed that we couldn't do a deal. And so I felt bad after I talked to him. I was the only one in there the whole time I was in there. My wife was in an antique mall next door. And again, I knew I couldn't spend a lot of time in there, that I was like, hey, I didn't realize you had packs. And so that's why I bought these 2 packs. And so they averaged about $10 a piece after I paid for it with taxes and everything. It was like $19 and some change. So I just wanted to give him some business, but I know these aren't high margin things for him either, because he said he had to buy them aftermarket. He didn't get them at retail. So he probably didn't make much off of that, but I wanted to buy something from the guy. So White Fox said, hey, what's up, Cardboard Nerd? What's going on, Kirk? Yeah, it's streaming for sure. Yeah, I'm streaming on Saturday night tonight because it was mine and my wife's 28th wedding anniversary. Actually, it's our anniversary is today, but we celebrated the last 2 days. So I wasn't here on Thursday night. We did a little overnight getaway. And yeah, so I decided I'd stream tonight. About to open up a pack. Oh, Seth, thanks so much, man. Love you too, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, Seth. It means a lot to me, man. Really, really appreciate that. Hey, Seth, did you ever get the cards? I just remembered you bought those cards for me for your nephew. Did they ever show up? Yeah, Kirk here, he bought my 2 Pokemon Center ETBs from me, from Chaos Rising. I got to send those out to him, so. Seth says, I'd love to have a place that could double as an event space, shop, and cafe. Yes, I agree with all of those things, Seth. Seth, I think when you came up here to visit me, didn't we go? We went to the Fantasy Flight Game Center, which may it rest in peace. It's no longer, there is a game shop there now, but it's not Fantasy Flight anymore. And the cafe part's been kind of downplayed, but Fantasy Flight Game Center was. Yeah, Seth, I sent Seth. Seth bought some cards from me, and he won a prize from our 1,000 subscriber live stream. And I sent them. Oh, you got them. Sweet. All right. Good deal, man. And he was going to give them to his nephew. Oh, we did. Oh, you didn't get the cards. Okay, you're saying we did go to Fantasy Flight Game Center, yes. Yeah, Fantasy Flight Game Center was... Yeah, Asmodee is that French company. All right, we're going to open up one of these Chaos Rising boosters, and then towards the end, I'm going to either open up Phantasmal or Mega Evolutions. So I'm going to open up this. What was this one called? Flabebe or Labebe or something like that. This particular Labebe. We learned this last week. I'm trying to remember what it is. We're going to open this one. No cards yet. Okay, sorry, man. But yeah, I bought cards from me, and they made it down to him to the major city near him in like 2 days, and then now they're nowhere to be found, and that sucks. All right, so code cards going over here. I got a bunch of code cards I need to put in. Let's see. Let's go with grass. Hey, grass. Is that a good sign? All right, this is Chaos Rising. Happy anniversary and happy early Father's Day. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Card Warner. All right, so I called grass. We got grass. Vulpix, so cute. I love Vulpix. Weedle. I think that's the base of the tower in Luminous City. Is that the name of it? Something like that. I've been watching the series. I'm like on like episode 5 or 6 in season 1, so I'm learning all kinds of things. Oh yeah, yesterday was a holiday. Yeah, but I mailed them to him like 2 weeks ago, Greg, for Seth there. Sliggoo. I don't know if I've ever seen a Sliggoo. Gentle Slap. Just a gentle slap. Oh, that's a fun one. Quillfish. I love the artwork on every one of these so far. Transformation Tome. Sudowoodo. Got those giant like leaf bubbles on his hands there. Skuntank. All right, Reverse Hollow Remoraid. Reverse Hollow Delphox. And Goodra. Chaos Rising was good to my son because he got himself the Greninja EX, but it's not been good to me. So sad, so sad. All right. Well, that's the first one. Let me set a timer for the next one so I don't forget. Let's go. Let's go about that far. When did I just get a message from someone? That's interesting. I got I guess you can you send messages on YouTube? I just got something, Cameron, that we became friends on YouTube or something. Yeah, Goodra is not Goodra for sure. I mean, I love the artwork. I've been seeing a lot of these videos lately where people are turning cards. Thanks, Greg. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. Have been turning these cards into like magnets. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's been difficult to find the actual magnet kit because the glass or the acrylic goes right over this rectangle perfectly. I would like to. I was telling my wife today, they added DMs to YouTube. Interesting. I really would like to. I don't know. I have this creative side of me, and of course, you know, some of that may come through in you know, the creative side of creating YouTube content. Gonna go help JJ plant some plants. We'll leave the stream up. I might be backish soon. Sounds good, man. Yeah, go help your wife plant some plants. But I would like to create, I don't know, I've seen, you know, the people that can grade the wife card on my desk behind me. I don't know. Never really thought about it. Right now it's in a one-touch case. It's pretty, the borders are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Cameron, can you answer that for White Fox? I have it in a perfect fit sleeve here. Let me get out my light and see what kind of shape it's in. I don't know that she'd be interested in. Of course, everything's backed up right now. Tag and... I'm trying to remember if I picked this up in a collection or if it's a little heavy on the right. The surface looks great though. Surface looks really good. No whitening or anything. I could get it graded. But yeah, everything is so backed up right now. If I didn't use PSA, I'd want to use tag. You know, it's a fantastic card. I have the other version of this card as well in my personal collection. That's more like close up on her face. But it'd be fun to make a card, actually make a card of my wife. She probably wouldn't like that, but I would like that. All right, back where it belongs. I also got her this one. She loves to read. She loves books. And so I got her this little Esper. The one from, what set was this? Perfect Order. Got her that one because there's lots of books and like a cup of coffee or tea and a stamp. And what I like about this card, this is the kind of things I appreciate about some of the cards, that if you look in the middle of the desk right here, you see that? That's the silhouette of leaves on a tree or a bush outside the window. So the sunlight is coming in through the window and it's casting a shadow of the window panes and the leaves on the desk. It's those kind of details that just, you can see the shadow on the books, on the table, on the notebook paper. It's that kind of stuff that just, some of these artists, who's the artist for this one? Minaminami Toki? Some of that kind of stuff just is, I don't know. I used to when I was younger, I used to do some painting. But when I was talking earlier about creating something, like actually doing something creative, like, you know, I've seen the videos where people like will take a card like this and they'll paint over it, and then they'll like paint a Pokemon or a scene or something on there. And I would love to be able to do that and sell that kind of thing like on Etsy. So like have another stream of my business that's more creative and not just flipping cards. But yeah. Yeah, there are some people, let's see, hold on. Cameron says, I'm not really sure, but I noticed that when I text my friends YouTube videos, they now populate in YouTube DMs as well. Same thing happens with Spotify. Z says, curious, are miscut cards worth anything? Yes, there are. To the right person, miscut cards are worth something, for sure. There are people that actually collect misprints and miscuts. And so I don't know that they're just intrinsically worth something, but there are people that is what they collect, are error cards or misprints or miscuts. Cameron said, I just sold a copy of that Esper today. Yeah, I picked it up right when the set came out. Went up to my local game shop and they had a Pokemon binder on the counter, and I just flipped through it, and I think it was like $4, $5. And so I surprised my wife with it. She really likes it. Cardboard Nerd, a while back, I remember you had a stamp of your logo. Where did you have that made? Oh yeah, I've actually got two stamps. One is when I was doing my own self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'm going to cover up my address here. So it's got my logo, Flip House Finds, on it. Well, you know my address because I've actually shipped you things. And so every time I had my white number 10 envelopes, I would just sit here and get a bunch of them ready. So I did that. And then this one is a big square one. If I redid it today, it would say obviously leveling up together, not collect more with less, but that's what I kind of started out with or whatever. They're great stamps. Rubberstamps.com. Rubberstamps.com. They have deals all the time, and neither of these were very expensive at all. I want to say this one was less than $20. Oh, the one with the one with the address on it. I think this one was less than 20 bucks, and this one may have been 25 or so. But they have deals all the time. They'll certainly have probably 4th of July deals. They'll probably have Labor Day, Memorial Day, all those kind of deals for sure. So you can get deals on those. So, but yeah, rubberstamps.com. Highly recommend. Nickrile said, "Wahoo! My son opened a birthday ETB and hit the." What is it? CRSIR? Chaos Rising SAR. Az's Tranquility. Let's look it up. Let's see. Which one? Let's see. That is from... Well, these are both from Chaos Rising. Which one did he snag? Did he get the one here on the left? Well, what did you say it was? SIR? Special Illustration Rare? So that's 2 stars. This is 1 star? I'm trying to remember. Oh, I love this card right here. Let's see where it is. Let's see, this one's on TCG Player. 508 listings, clear filters. Oh, the SIR, got it. $500, but no exact matches for the filters you have selected. I wonder what filters I selected. Sometimes these filters, man, it's very confusing. Where he's on the bench, gotcha. So this one. Nice. Yeah, that's a cool card. What filter do I have listed that this is? Oh, I'm in somebody's store. That's why. I was shopping from a guy's store the other day. But I changed my mind. What was it? Peak 120. 60. Yeah, that's a nice card. I dig that. It's a lot of fun. What is that he's got in his hand there? That's a Pokemon, right? I just can't tell from... with my blurry eyesight. Oh, thanks, Nightmare. Appreciate you, man. That's twice, Nightmare. Thank you so much. I need to get out my notepad and write down yours and Seth's name here for shout outs in the notes when I get done. I just forgot to... I can hear my wife and my daughter got home. How dare they not be watching my live stream? Let's see here. Nick. Appreciate you, sir. And then White Fox. Is it White Fox SG? He's got a couple different handles here. No, whitefoxplays. Gotcha. Yeah, thank you guys both for that. Yeah, it's so funny. I ended up streaming on my birthday this last year and on my wedding anniversary, which was unintentional. In fact, when Jennifer and I were talking about me streaming tonight, it was like, no big deal, but I forgot that it was actually our legit anniversary, wedding anniversary today. Again, what are you doing, man? What are you doing with all this? Yeah, I could talk about YouTube payouts. Yeah. So Um, it's so funny. Almost every video that I've done since I got monetized have all been some of my weaker performing videos. Now, granted, 2 of the ones that came out the week after I got monetized were talking about content creation, which is not the crux of what I do on this channel. This is more Pokemon business and, you know, reselling and those kinds of things. As you can, like the video that just came out on Thursday evening, where it says, this was unexpected, where I talk about getting to the point where I'm running out of inventory. That one has performed way better than the one where I teach people how to do a thumbnail. I think it's got like 30 views, 40 views, and the one where I talk about how I got monetized. But both of those pieces of content I feel will be kind of evergreen content that I think people will stumble across and over time will continue to perform pretty well. Or maybe get found or whatever along the way. But so when I first started, so I guess as YouTube gets to know you and like your audience and begins to trust you that you're advertiser friendly, you have this thing called CTR, which is basically like, you know, what they're going to pay you out. Is it CTR? Is that right? CPM, sorry. So that's like basically cost per 1,000 views. So it's cost per milli, which is like short for 1,000. And so in this niche, the education niche, a solid CPM for that niche is $10 to $15 for every 1,000 views. And mine continues to kind of crawl up. So right now, $13.66 is what Alan or Fliphouse Finds. That's what they're comfortable. That's what advertisers are willing to pay to put ads on my content. So every time you come into a live stream, I'm sure every few minutes or whatever it is, you're watching a video. For every 1,000 views of a video of a ad, I get $13.66. But then at the top there, you can see since I've been monetized, I say only, I want to be mindful of this. On just the payouts on ads, and this has been over since towards the end of May. So I think I've been monetized for what, 3 weeks now, maybe somewhere around there. I've made $30.97 just from ads. So I mean, that's $30.97 that I didn't have to sell a single card or ship a single card, and it's just from people watching my content. So that's great. Obviously, the hope would be is that as the viewer base and as some of my videos maybe, you know, get some of those ones that are a little bit higher performing where, you know, they get 1,000 views in a day or two, you know, getting paid out like every 1,000 views, getting paid out, you know, $13, $14 for that. As far as like the super chats go, that is actually a better return on investment as far as like whenever you guys do a super chat. Now, granted, YouTube keeps 30% of what you send, like in a super chat or a super thanks or whatever, or even like the memberships. YouTube keeps 30% of that amount. But at the same time, it's integrated into the platform, and you know that's fine. But yeah, so I mean, the super chats are probably the easiest like drops in the bucket. Like whenever you guys do a super chat, let's say it's a $2 super chat, I'll make $1.40 on that, and it goes straight in there. So that's as good as 1,000 views. One super chat for $2 is equivalent to about 1,000 views of one of my videos, and so it's going well. I'm just still learning. I'm also so new to the monetization things. But then you have, you know, other people out here in the space that every one of their videos gets 2,500 views, and they're doing a video a day. And so they're making quite a bit more than I would be. But again, I don't want to compare to them. I mean, my journey is my journey, and the pace at which I produce videos is my pace. And so I don't want to sit here and compare and get down on any of that. Like I have to remember that where I'm sitting right now, 9 months after I started this channel, man, I would have dreamed to have been here 9 months ago. And so there's certainly nothing to be upset about. This is all a learning learning opportunity for me. But I will say, a lot of the people in the different Reddit communities that I'm a part of that said, hey, the hard work begins once you get monetized. I was like, oh, that's silly. That doesn't make any sense. But now I'm like, oh, I can see now, because now I care a little bit more about views than I ever did before. Because you have to get to 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. And once I hit that 4,000 hour mark on watch time, then I'm like, well, I'm just doing content for free now, because people are watching my videos, but I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So I'm not monetized, but like all those hours of watch time I could have been getting, ad revenue for. So yeah, it's a different mechanism that's built into it that I'm trying to figure out. But the thing I'm trying desperately not to do is to create content just to get clicks, because I think that's where I don't ever want this to turn into something where I'm coming on here and being inauthentic about any of that. Like, I mean, I could have done a video about the whole, oh shoot, who's the guy that sings the Pokemon theme song? Jason Page, is that right? Or there was that whole controversy a week or so ago about him trading a card with his signature on it to some kids for a Gengar, base set Gengar that they had. And the kids were disappointed when they realized that the card they got was a fake card. It was like an art card that Jason Page had signed. And so I certainly could have done, oh, that's right. CTR is click-through rate. CPM is cost per mil. It's cost per milli, MILLE, not million. And milli, I guess, is, like millimeter. Like that, the short for 1,000. So, yeah. Yeah, Jason Page, yeah. Yeah, Jason Page. So I could have done a video on that and given my opinion, but it's just like, I just don't want to be about that kind of content. I just really don't. I just don't want to be the hyperbole, shock jock, Alan's hot take on X, Y, or Z, so. Yeah, Z, good question. Not sure if you've already told the story before, but what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? I kind of talked about it. I don't really know that I have like an amazingly good answer for it. I will say, when I started in ministry 20 plus years ago, one of the first things I got to do was kind of in the video space. Like I would create videos and edit videos and stuff like that for my church. And sometimes I would be the talking head in the video. Other times I'd be behind the camera, and I got some different skill sets and learnings from doing that. And then back, I've always been, a consumer of all things on the internet. In fact, when I went to college in the early 90s, all of our college dorm rooms had just been upgraded with like Cat 5 cable, which was like cutting edge technology, that long ago. And I bought my first computer, 1994, cost $2,000. I borrowed some money from my grandfather and paid him back for it. And so as soon as things like YouTube and stuff have come around, like I've always been very enamored with the medium of content creation and stuff like that. And then in the early 2000s, there was a video game called Star Wars: The Old Republic that was coming out. And there was a podcast I listened to on a regular basis. And it was called Moss Isley Radio. And I was very active in their like chat channels and things like that. And I was so active and such a productive part of the community that I was invited to be one of the co-hosts. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Welcome. Yeah, we got Jacob. I'm streaming on a Saturday because my wife and I are celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary today. But we actually celebrated the last couple of days. We took a little road trip on Thursday night, spent it overnight. And so that's why I'm streaming on a Saturday night versus a Thursday night. So just kind of see who would show up. But yeah, no worries for being late. I'm just telling stories. So in the early 2000s, there was a video game called Star Wars: The Old Republic, and they asked me to be one of the co-hosts on their podcast on Moss Isley Radio. We had about 25,000 listeners a week, so thanks, man. Appreciate it. Jack says, congratulations. And so I started doing this weekly podcast recording, and then my handle was kind of like called Alan Shot First. If you know anything about Star Wars, there's this whole controversy that when Han Solo and Greedo were facing off in the Mos Eisley Cantina, that when George Lucas re-edited it, he made it to where Greedo shot and missed Han Solo at point blank range, and then Han Solo shot him to defend himself, which is dumb because Han Solo is a cutthroat smuggler, so he didn't need to be shot at first to defend himself. But George Lucas kind of made it politically correct. So there's a mantra in Star Wars world like Han shot first. Technically, Han shot only in the original cut, but. So my handle was like Alan Shot First. And so I started doing video content where I would do these short little like 3 to 5 minute videos giving my takes on updates in Star Wars, the Old Republic and stuff. And I probably did 50 episodes of that content. And then when Mos Eisley Radio kind of shut its doors and I stopped doing that content, I had my own podcast for a while called the ASF Podcast for Alan Shot First. I would have a guest every week on the podcast, and we would talk about pop culture, scientific discoveries, and any other thing that the guest wanted to bring to talk about. It was about an hour and a half podcast. I did, I don't know, 30, 40 episodes of that. And so I've dabbled in this like content creation space multiple times over the years. And as I started this whole discovery process about starting my own business, I had this goal of doing a one Instagram post every single day. And so that kind of got my palate wet again from like, okay, like this content creation, this creating just one picture or one short video a day on Instagram, it kind of started tickling my creative energy again. Like I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun to kind of just like think through what do I want to do. And then it got to be where I was just basically kind of like cataloging like what growing a business looked and felt like. Like every day I would say, hey, these are the orders I'm shipping out today, or hey, this is the collection I just picked up, or I'd have a video where I rip some packs on occasion and stuff like that. And I was like, well, how can I, Instagram's not very easy to monetize, to be like, how can I, get monetized for the content I was creating? It doesn't really have a great monetization. Yeah, that's the short answer, Z, is yes, I've had past experience doing this sort of stuff, but very rarely to this degree, obviously. So as I got several months into that journey, I was like, man, I wonder what another step I could take in doing this, could be. And then TJ, Pokepastor TCG, he and I are friends. And when he kind of helped me get my business off the ground, he said, man, I've really been wanting to create a YouTube channel and start creating content. I haven't done that yet. And I said, well, hey man, like however I can spur you on to do that, hold you accountable or whatever. And within a couple months after he and I talking, he spooled up his YouTube channel. And so I was seeing the kind of content that he was creating. And I was like, I really do think I have a unique niche or voice in this hobby that could help some people, to show them, hey, I bought some fake cards, or here's how I pack my cards, or here's the materials and supplies that I use, or, whatever that looks like. And so I just started I just did a ton of research. If you watch my video from a couple days ago where I talk about the roadmap to monetization, it really was this unique discovery process of like, I can't afford a CLR or whatever CRT camera, whatever that crystal something, I don't know, whatever that's CLR, is that right? It's crystal lens something, I don't know. And so I was like, what kind of cameras would help me do that, but on a budget? So I found these Insta360 cameras. I mean, even camera number 2 here is a Insta360 camera. It's the exact same camera as the one I'm looking at, but it doesn't have the gimbal that like is motorized. It'll follow you around. And I waited till they were on sale. And so I got this is a $200 camera I'm looking at, and I got it for like $149. And then the camera number 2 is a $149 camera I got on Black Friday for $99. This lamp over here is an off-brand Chinese-made lamp, and I actually got 2 of them. They were so cheap. I've got one up there in the box still, and I've got this one. And so I just started going like, how can I get this started to get the reps? Same kind of philosophy of selling cards. Like I just wanted to get the reps. If I can just start shipping cards to people, I'm going to get better at it over time. If I can just start creating videos, I'm going to get better at it over time. And so yeah, started it off, and TJ, PokePass for TCG, he said he got monetized in 6 months, and I was like, man, I bet you I could do it in about 6 months, and it just took me a little bit longer. But he's posting a video a day. The guy's a machine. And I do 3 videos a week. I do 1 live stream and 2 pre-recorded pieces of content, and that fits in my schedule and my life, and is manageable. I can't imagine trying to create a piece of content every single day. I think if I had done a piece of content every single day, I may have been able to hit that 6-month mark. It took me 9 months, but in all these different subreddits I'm a part of, there's people out there that have been doing this for 5 years and they're still not monetized. Now, granted, they may be a completely different niche than business Pokemon trading card content. And so I think that has helped me, certainly, because of the popularity of Pokemon and trading cards right now. But yeah, it's definitely a blessing. And yeah, past experience and content creation more on an audio level with some of the podcasting stuff. But it's been an absolute blast, and I've really enjoyed it. And again, the community, the Discord server, I mean, all of that has just been icing on top for just being able to talk to my friends. Even when I was on this little trip with my wife, being able to, chat on Discord with some of you and leave a comment or something that popped across my feed that I wanted to share. It's been absolutely so much fun. And so, yeah, and to have that teenage boy that was at that one card shop recognize me from YouTube, that was fun too. That was unexpected. That was not on my bucket list for the day, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So super, I don't want to sound super spiritual, but like blessed. I feel blessed to be where I'm at and really have enjoyed the journey. And I think that's part of it. There was a guy in one of our YouTube subreddits, literally just the other day, and let me throw this chat up there again. We're just one super chat away from our goal for the night. Oh yeah, I think Nick, you've done like 3 of these, haven't you? Oh, Nightmare too. Nightmare did also. Okay, wait, Nick, you've done 2. Nightmare's done 1. Nightmare 702 times 2. There was in a subreddit the other day, and it was really sad. This guy was asking for advice. He's got a channel that's not yet monetized, and there's this whole, like, in Reddit, there's this community that's like sub for sub, where like if you sub to their channel, they'll sub to your channel. And throughout the journey, it was tempting to participate in that. I'm grateful I didn't do anything like that. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any sub for subs. I didn't do any of the, like, where you go to YouTube and you promote your channel and you can get a bunch of subs that way. And so he realized that he made a huge mistake doing sub for sub. Let's see, Cardboard Nerd said, I didn't know your background on podcasts and other shows. Nice. I had a short run 10-episode podcast too back in maybe 2018. What was that? Was it about trading cards? Kirk, what was it about? But he was just talking about, he knew he made a mistake. So here, the problem with content creation, if you just have random people subbing to your channel that don't find you organically, that don't necessarily resonate with your content, but they subscribe, I think the initial people that algorithm pushes out your content to initially are your subscribers. And depending on how your subscribers engage your content, tells YouTube, hey, push it out to another group of people and another group of people and another group of people. And so if you do sub for sub and people aren't engaging with your content or leaving messages or likes or whatever, so that's why, like, when you guys see one of my videos come out, even if you just watch it for a few minutes and you like it, and if you leave a comment or something like that, it's super helpful to push. And I think even if you watch it on your phone, you can even like hype up a video, and that even pushes it out even further. And so I know when my wife and I watch videos, especially when she's watching my videos, once you like it, a little window pops up where you can slide it over and you can hype a video, and you earn, I guess, hype points as you watch YouTube videos every day. And so anything you can do to engage, leave a comment that's useful is helpful. So this guy was struggling because he realized he had built up most of his 700 subscribers were sub for subs, and they weren't engaging with his content authentically. And so he wasn't getting the push out. So he was thinking about, and a lot of them were leaving comments that he didn't feel like were adding anything to his content. And so he went into the subreddit and asked if we thought he should turn off his comments. And oh yeah, those hearts help too, I think. And everybody in that subreddit thread was saying, do not turn off your comments. Do not turn off your comments. Engagement is engagement. Even if it's hate content and people are saying negative things, engagement is engagement, and it helps push your videos out further and helps it, find new audiences and new authentic subscribers. And this guy just would not listen. And we're all sitting there going like, hey bud, like, count uploads, don't count views. Don't count subscribers, count uploads, get more uploads under your belt, get better at your craft, get better at your videos. And then naturally you're going to begin to grow, and you're going to get the subscribers, you're going to get the watch time or whatever. And this guy just would not listen. And finally I was like, enjoy the journey, get better at your craft, upload. And his stuff wasn't bad. It was kind of like, stop motion animation, but like of him drawing something. So like, you draw something and you speed it up 500 times the speed. So they're drawing something, he's drawing something really elaborate but super fast. And even people that were in that niche were trying to coach him through, and the guy just wouldn't listen. He just wouldn't listen. He had a rebuttal for every single piece of advice that was given to him, and it was almost unanimous. I mean, 95% of the people were like giving the exact same advice, and the guy wouldn't listen. It was just sad, because I think that's part of it is, I mean, certainly I wanted to get monetized, but not at the sake of creating content that didn't feel authentic to me. And I wasn't going to create, I wasn't going to go to ChatGPT and say, hey, what's the latest Pokemon news? And then just sit here and just read it off of a teleprompter. Like I wasn't going to do that. And so as long as I can continue to create content that I feel like is useful to the audience and continue to sell trading cards, then I'll keep creating content. And if it ever gets to the point where I can make a couple $100s a month doing this and have a car payment, pay for a new to me car or something like that, that would be super cool. That'd be super, super cool. But right now I'm still learning. I'm still the CPM and, click-through rate and CTR and SEO, search engine optimization, and learning all the acronyms. So yeah. Well, here in a few more minutes, we're going to open up. See, I opened up a Chaos Rising pack. I'm going to either open up Mega Evolution or Phantasmal Flames. We're going to flip a coin or something to decide which one. I may flip this card, and so this will be heads and this will be tails. Just like flip it in the air, see where it lands, and maybe that'll help me decide which one to open up. So we'll open up one of those here in a minute. Maybe we'll get a banger out of one of these guys. But yeah, the shop that I bought these from, that was that Old Night Games. The Old Night Games. I'm assuming he didn't weigh these packs or anything. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. I wanted to support his shop as best I could, but we just could not come to a deal on cards, because he's paying 70% and I wanted to pay 70%, and none of us are making money. He's not making money doing it that way. So all right, guys, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'm going to hit the add button and see if it plays an ad. If an ad pops up, if you want to watch it, that helps the channel with a few pennies, but I will be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. All right, I'm back. Let's see here. Cardboard Nerd says, my old podcast was about augmented reality or virtual reality devices that were coming out at the time. I was betting on that technology over AI. Of course, I bet on the wrong horse. At the time, I lived up in Seattle, had a lot of access to everybody building all the devices. I used to run a meetup that had like 1,000 people on the mailing list. Dude, that's super cool. Yeah, when I have an Oculus something or other, Oculus Rift 2, I think. Had a buddy give it to me. He already had one, and he worked at a big technology company here in the Twin Cities. And their Christmas gift one year is everybody got one. He already had one, so he gave it to me for free. And man, I was hardcore into that thing for, oh gosh, several months. But at the end of the day, like, while it was impressive technology, and I'm sure the newest one, the Oculus 3 or whatever, is even better, the strain on my neck and my head from wearing the device, and I'm sure the 3 is lighter, and I'm sure the technology will continue to get better. But you know, being someone that wears glasses, and I had the adapter in there that would get it a little bit further from my face so my glasses could fit inside of it. But I really enjoyed the golf game, Golf Plus, I think it is. I played a lot of golf and stuff like that. So no ads showed up for me during your break. Do you have YouTube Premium? Or you pay for no ads on YouTube? If not, then that's probably why. I got a green check mark when I clicked the play ads button, so I don't know. I still don't understand all of that. I'm just trying to go through the motions. I'm gonna write that down, do some research on live stream ads. See if maybe there's a primer or a video out there that can help me understand how all of that works. Because yeah, that's one of the things that you would think if I have 9 people, like I have 9 people here now, and if 9 people watched an ad, is it counting the views of the video or is it the views of the ad? And then how often are ads popping up for people? I don't fully understand how all that works. So you don't have premium and you did not see an ad. Maybe you'd seen one recently. Maybe if I hit that button, but you've had one in a certain time frame, it doesn't force another ad down your throat. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Have to do some research on that. So one of the things I did, yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I'll do some research on it. Again, I don't, it's not super, I mean, I'm going to do the live stream whether the ads generate money or not. So like, it doesn't really matter, but I was curious. Cameron says, I have a Quest 2 as well. It's definitely heavy, waiting for glasses to get good enough before I can get back into VR. Yeah, if it was probably, I don't know how many pounds the Quest 2 headset is. Oh yeah, I have another friend that said now I can send you messages and share videos with me. Interesting. Yeah, if it was a little bit lighter, I might enjoy it. But like if I'm gonna chill out at night and watch, I mean, it is fun to watch Netflix inside the Quest headset, because you can just like sit on the couch or in your recliner and turn it on, and it's kind of like a wraparound screen inside, and you can watch it. But like the lack of communal experience there, like if I'm watching something with my family, we're not all gonna sit there with Quest heads, you know, the Quest headsets on. We're gonna actually watch the TV together. So in certain applications, I think it's fun. There was a military game I had where you could, you know, you were going around trying to take out the opposition. It was very well done. I mean, like all the motions, the pulling you know, pulling everything back and getting the magazines loaded and all that. But the challenge is you needed to have some kind of 3D printed or other thing so that you could put the stock up against your arm, because this had one handset in it, this had the other. And so if you're looking down the barrel and your right hand comes down or up, or your front, it had 2 pivot points, where typically it's, you know, when you have a real gun, it's into your shoulder as a pivot point, so you only have the one movement on the front. And it was just very challenging to use. And so yeah, I didn't get into that very much, but it was fun. Had the Oculus Quest. Beat Saber was my go-to game for hours on end daily. Yeah, Beat Saber's fun. I had that too. I think pass-through is the future of VR, overlaying screens onto your real surroundings rather than being gone in the void. Yes, I agree. I think that there was a couple of meditation apps that I kind of dug, but they were all like pay to play, like you had to subscribe to them. And I was telling my wife today, we both agreed that I'm going to open up another pack here in a minute, by the way, guys. That anytime I download an app on my phone and you get to the point where it says, hey, you get a free 7-day trial, we uninstall it immediately. Like, I think the subscription model for things has just gone overboard. Like, I don't need to subscribe to a game to play poker. Like, I just don't need to. Like, I don't need to subscribe to a game to play solitaire. Not every app in the App Store needs to have a subscription model. You just don't. Like, there's subscription overload. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's see. I have... What do I have here that I could flip like a coin? I had a dice here earlier. Oh, I saw this the other day. There was a game, like a... How many sides does this have on it? All right, I've got a pencil here. My wife loves Ticonderoga pencils, especially for her classroom. I need to figure out a way to like populate the wheel spin. Yeah, somebody was using a pencil as a dice. So what I've done is here at the top, do you see this? I've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-sided. So it's like a 6-sided dice. So if I roll it, it'll stop on either an odd or an even number. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. Well, you can see. I can see 4 on there. Can you see 4 on there on the screen? So I'm just going to roll this, and if it's let's see, if it's an odd number, it's going to be Mega Evolution. If it's an even number, it's going to be Phantasmal Flames. So odd number, Mega Evolution. Let me scoot my keyboard back. Oh, that's pushing down the spacebar. Mega Evolution is an odd number, and even number will be Phantasmal Flames. And I don't know if you can see this. Here we go. 5, odd number, Phantasmal Flames. That's my lucky pencil now. I'm going to put this over here for future use, potentially. That's not going to look great there. All right, we're going to open up Phantasmal Flames and put the rest of these back in the box for future live stream openings. And I've been keeping the packs, maybe do some artwork with it. So, all right, I'll do this to open it up and then go back to camera 1. Let's see here. White Fox says you need to just buy one of those Pokemon decks that comes with dice and roll those. Yeah, well, actually, I do have dice up there. Duh, I have dice from the Journey Together ETB is up there. All right, so that's my code card. Where did I put my other code card? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, I've actually got dice up there. I didn't even think about it. Okay, let's see here. Put this over here to the side. Let's say electric energy. Nope, grass energy. 2 grass energies in a row. 2 grass energies in a row. So maybe that's good luck for this pull. All right, so here we go. Snubble, Murkrow, Duramaka. I like that he's like in front of a, was it a vending or just posters on the wall? It's like he's at a nightclub and he's dancing. Bronzor, not at a nightclub. He's at an antique mall or something. Bronzong. So yeah, Bronzor is the basic, and then we got our stage 1 Bronzong. Dawn, that's a great card. If I can make like magnets out of this, I'd make one out of that card. Is this? Nope, still not a reverse. Viper. I am the Viper. That's a French Viper. All right, reverse holo Vibrava. Oh, look at that Piplup. Reverse holo Piplup, and hey, Battle Cage. That's a hit, everybody. That is a hit. I will take it. Actually, really enjoy stadium cards. It's one of my favorite kind of cards. So yeah, we got us a hit at a Phantasmal Flame. Look at us. We did it. Hey, Sith became a member. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you did, Seth. You sent me that video. I've watched several of them, but just trying to get the get at my top loader or my penny sleeves over here. Got my recycled penny sleeves with. I always like to get one that matches the color, if I can. What is that? It's kind of got a pink vibe to it. Let's get this pink one here. So whenever I pull cards out of these, if someone buys multiples, I always recycle it. So there it is. What is Battle Cage going for from this set right now? Because I'm certainly going to sell it. Battle Cage. What is this one? 116 of 094. That's worth a couple dollars. At the height, it was worth like $250. But I will definitely list that one soon. Yeah, full art. I will take it. I will absolutely take it. Yeah, so what I did, I needed to bulk up. Let's see here. Z's waving. Oh, clapping. Yeah. Alan, have you tried getting TCG Player affiliation? I heard it really hard to get, but you might have enough social credit to get it at this point. You know, I got the eBay affiliate, which is really easy. I've made 13 cents so far, but I've never promoted it, so consider it a win. Yeah, there's Seth using all of your emoticons. That's the only emoticon I had time to build. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did get an email, like a couple of my emails have received attention from TCG Player. A couple of my videos, they emailed me saying that they enjoyed my video of preparing for TCG Player Mayhem, and the other video I did that was around that same time where I was talking about TCG Player. And you know, I've never asked. I should reply. They just emailed me this last week with another video of mine that they saw and liked. But it was one of the guys that does the Gap program. So I don't know if he's the one that makes that call, or if it just because I've gotten some some notice from them. Maybe I could do that. I don't know what that looks like. I mean, how does that work, Kirk? How does that how do you monetize being an affiliate? Like if someone signs up and like types in Fliphouse Finds as the code is the reason they signed up, that you make a quarter or something? Like I don't even know how that would work. So yeah, thanks for the membership, Seth. Appreciate it. Yeah, my wife became a member last week. She's like, hey, I think I can support this guy since I've lived with him for 28 years. So yeah, but to go back, Z, and answer your question too about monetization. Yeah, so the way that they do it is between the 7th and the 12th of every month. Google AdSense goes out and pulls how much money you've earned. And then if it hits the threshold of $100 or more, then they schedule it for payout between the 20th and the 26th of the month. And so when that window, 7th through the 12th of the month, came this month in June, I had not yet clipped $100 yet. And so this next month, July, between the 7th and the 12th, I'm like a few dollars over $100 right now, with super chats and with just ad revenue. And so I should get my first payout the second half of July, which I'm excited about. I'd like for them to send me an actual paper check if that's a thing that they do, because I would love to frame that and just have it to commemorate that moment. Because yeah, there's I don't know what it is, what percentage of channels actually get monetized, if that's a number. Yeah, it says here, if you trust Google's AI overview, approximately 2.5% of all YouTube channels are monetized. So out of the estimated 113 million active YouTube channels, only around 3 million of them are people that are accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. I think that's another thing that people don't talk about, is that even if you hit the metric of 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, you still have to apply to be a YouTube partner or a YouTube affiliate to be accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. And they can deny your entry into that. And so they do review your channel. I'm sure they use AI or algorithms or something to summarize all that. And so, yeah, I'm sure that, you know, and even now that I'm in the partner program, I can be pulled out of it at any time if my content all of a sudden becomes something that they don't feel that their advertisers would want to advertise on. So it just depends. So Cardboard Nerd says, I don't have the TCG affiliate, but I assume the eBay one works similarly. If you get people to click your link, you make some sort of percentage of any money that they spend on the site, similar to the Amazon referral program. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I could certainly, that's a great idea. I'm going to write that down to ask them what that looks like. Because certainly if you go and watch all my videos, I am certainly a fan of TCG Player. Nothing, I mean, yes, while there are some things that I would change if I was the president of TCG Player, but by and large, it's still, you know, for my money, it's still the best platform to sell on, particularly in the United States. So I'm certainly a fan. Certainly a fan. Yeah, I know Cameron mentioned earlier he's been making a lot of sales. I know some of us have seen a little bit of a slowdown. Oh, I was going to tell you, tell everybody too, I needed to get some more inventory on my website. And so I just got really scrappy and I went through all my bulk, pulled all the reverse hollows and hollow foils out, and just started listing them for 30 cents minimum. And some of them are worth more than 30 cents. And so I just did a quick search on all of them, a quick conditioning. I didn't even put them in top loaders, which is the first time I've done that. So yeah, so this is, and then I have probably a bunch more to list as well. So like this is all my ones that are in top loaders. These are all cards that are worth $1 or more. These are all my ones I just listed yesterday, at least 100 of them that are reverse hollows or hollow foils. These are all the ones I still need to list that are reverse hollows or hollow foils. And so I'm just trying to bulk up my inventory a little bit to give people some options, especially if they're, and then I have my Japanese cards in a different case over here. Just to give people some choices where if they make a purchase and they're trying to get to that $5 mark, that there's some cards that they can pick up and put in there. And so, yeah, I mean, if you have 100 cards in there at 30 cents a card, yeah, I mean, $30 worth of cards over time. I mean, and now that TCG Player is default charging the people $1.49 for shipping, my shipping supply costs are still around 90 cents or less. That includes a stamp, obviously. And so I'm still making money on that as well. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in the bulk game now, but I wanted to, you know, make my selection a little bit more robust. And so I'm going to keep adding some of those. I didn't want to add too many at one time because I didn't want to all of a sudden have a 100 card order that I needed to figure out, but I do need to list some more. And then of course I've got, you know, some more hollows and reverse hollows in here to do as well. Cameron said, I always price right at market, so whenever I list the orders, just fly. Although sealed over 100, I come in at $1 under lowest listing as long as it doesn't dip under market price. Yeah, that makes sense, Cameron. Yeah, Cameron, I know you've got a pretty good rhythm of like getting sealed products. I know you've got a good rhythm where you were out in Colorado, I think, where you were able to kind of figure out some of the schedules and the rhythms of different suppliers and stuff out there, which is fantastic. let's see here. I love these cards. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, but one of the things I was saying earlier too is I would love to find out, like I would love to even open up like a. Camera says it's a lot of waiting in lines or camping at the computer. Yeah, for sure. I would like to figure out a way to do something else creative with this hobby. You know, like I've got some friends. I bought that Mantike card from a small Oregon card shop called Tinker Toys and Hobbies that I've been watching from afar for the last year and a half. I started watching them when I started creating content. It's a young married couple in their mid-20s that started a card shop in a small town of like 5,000 people out in Oregon. And I picked up one of my chase cards from them this last week. And they have like a machine where they make buttons out of Pokemon cards. You know, it cuts it into a circle and then puts it like into a little button. And they sell them at their counter for like $1 or $2 a piece, something like that. And so a lot of their bulk they turn into another product that they can sell in their shop. And so, you know, something like that would be a ton of fun for me to be able to have another like lane of the hobby with my ADHD that I can invest some time. And so whether it's these videos of people turning these cards into magnets, or making some kind of other product that I could ship out easily. Also, it would be kind of fun to start an Etsy shop where, you know, I could do something like that. But again, I'm not trying to do that in the short term. There's also some really neat products I've seen people make with 3D printers that are similar to that, like little frames, and then you cut out the rectangle part of a card, and there's like a little frame. And so like behind your wall, you could have like hundreds of like little pieces of artwork from Pokemon cards. Something like that would be kind of fun too. You could continue the podcast interviews. Yeah, you know, honestly, Cameron, between like you and Oren with the Poke Directory and Kirk, who's selling out in California, which is a much different selling environment than here, I really would enjoy doing some more podcast style stuff. I think the challenge for me in doing that right now, and Kirk, I see your question, I'm going to answer it here in a second. The challenge with that right now is a lot of times whenever I record a video, it's just like it comes to me and I want to sit down and record right away. Whereas the podcast takes some planning, creating some questions, and usually I don't want to do any editing. And so, you know, it needs to be just one video, straight cut, no mess ups. And so there's a lot more variables, but I would love to start having people from the community on my do like a podcast style YouTube video. I think that'd be a lot of fun. That's definitely something to consider. Cardboard Nerd, any advice setting up easy posts with TCG tracking? I have a link to the guide, but haven't gone through it yet. I need to set it up because I ran out of stamps. Cameron, Cameron actually walked with me through that because you go to Easy Post and you set up an account. I made a mistake in that I clicked the wrong thing. I didn't set up like the free account. I set up an account that was the other option, which I didn't understand what I was doing. And so I had to reach out to Easy Post, their customer service, to say, hey, I didn't mean to do that part. And so they had to credit me back some money on my card. And then they were able to set up where I could get an authorization code or I don't remember what the code was called from them, that then I typed in at TCG tracking to link the two together. So now it's seamlessly in TCG tracking. I can add money to my stamp wallet in TCG tracking and it integrates with Easy Post without a problem. Whereas I think if you just set up an Easy Post account, you can begin to print stuff, but it doesn't integrate with TCG tracking. So Cameron had to help me with the language there. Yeah, Cameron said, yeah, it is confusing to set up, but easy to use once it's up and running. We can chat in Discord. Yeah, once it gets set up, it's super smooth. But yes, it was confusing, Kirk. So you're not alone. I had to have our young friend Cameron here, with his more agile gray matter, help me figure out what the heck was going on. I had a couple of orders have come through just since I've been sitting here, since I've been live streaming. That's awesome. One going to Florida, 2 cards going to Florida. And let me see what the other one is, how many cards that is. 1 card going to Colorado. Cool, cool. Those are some of the cards I picked up from that card shop in Cannon Falls, Minnesota. That's nice. Well, what else is everybody up to? I will say another place where I'm really seeing probably the best revenue stream that I have right now is my Shipping Shield affiliate link. And by the way, if you are not using my code Shipping Shield, Fliphouse finds 10 to save 10% off your first order, or Fliphouse finds 7.5 to save 7.5% off your second order, or Fliphouse finds 5 to save 5% off your third order. This affiliate link has paid off in spades. That's probably where I'm making the most consistent money, and it's really interesting to kind of watch it take off. So, oh, good. That's a great question, Nightmare. That's kind of like a deep cut right there. Yes, I did finish it. Gosh, how long ago was that on Instagram? When I completed it, I had an Instagram post where I celebrated that I hit Guam, Puerto Rico, and I want to say Alaska was my last. Oh, you know what? I need to look for it, like where I can show it on the screen here. I want to say Alaska was my last state, or no, it wasn't. It was like Montana. I think Montana was my last state. How long ago was that? Because that was one little sub goal. That's a great deep cut, Nightmare. That was one of my little sub goals that I was doing. It was an added step for quite some time. Here, I'll just browse here. So these are all my posts here. Oh, I ended up selling my my Walter Payton card for $225. So I got it for free. Spent $25 to have it graded, and then this is always so fun to go back and scroll through. That was a great card, that Rapidash card. Love that card. Hated to sell it. This one I kept. Pokemon raisins. There's my these were great stamps. Last time I went to the post office, they were out of these. These are very Pokemon centric. Yeah, this is the second card shop I went to. He had a lightly played 99, this exact same Charizard. He was asking $500 for it, but it wasn't graded. Should have picked it up, but I don't know. I just don't want to tie up a lot of money in a single card. Look at this. Happy New Year. Look at that guy. I don't know why my glasses were blue in that, but AI helped me build that. That's one of the few times I've used. Oh man, I could click on this stuff all day. There's so many great memories through here, guys. Yeah, I want to say it was before Christmas. Oh, here we go. Is this the one? We did it. Yeah, here's the one. Here you go, Nightmare. We did it. We caught all 50 of the United States and Puerto Rico, and then I realized later I had Guam also. A buyer from Montana came in clutch to catch them all last night. So this was when? 30 weeks ago. So this was half a year ago. So that would have been, oh, it says right there, November 22nd. November 22nd, so just around Thanksgiving. Yeah, you can see there's only one pin in Montana at that point. One tiny pin right there. But I can't remember at that point how many sales that was. I want to say it was around the 1,000 sale mark. Well, you know what? I think I also did like a celebration link for when we hit our 1,000th sale, but maybe I didn't. This was fun. There was a guy at a local, at my repair shop, car repair shop, that his kids loved to open Pokemon, but they couldn't find any. So I came home and made a couple of like 25 card mystery bags, put a few hollows in there, And just, you know, I had this kind of made up on my thermal printer, so I did that so they couldn't see the front of the card. So the back of the cards you could see if you flip those team bags around, but that was fun to kind of help make those kids' days. This is a card I wish I would have kept, but I sold it. Or maybe I gave it to my son. Yeah, Carbonite Cooperative, it's a buddy of mine. Yeah, I don't remember if I did a celebration for 1,000 sales. I'm pretty confident I did. But yeah, there's some fun memories. So now on Instagram, I'm only posting every 2 or 3 days. I'm not posting every day like I was, but every day for 365 days, even when I was in bed sick, I posted, and so it was a ton of fun. That was that again, kind of getting the reps in for the yeah, just trying to get better at it. So I'm going to switch over my music to the synthwave as we land the plane here over the next 15 minutes. Guys, I always kind of come in with an idea of what I want to talk about and what I want to visit in these live streams. But you all do such a fantastic job of, hey, what's up, Hamburger Ron? What's up, Ron? Guys, we're still one super chat away, one super chat of $2 or more to hit our goal tonight, which will wrap up here in the next 15 minutes or so. But you guys always do such a great job of asking great questions and humoring my talking. I guess that's the part of live streaming, though, is that, you know, to keep people entertained and or, you know, to keep the content here flowing. And so you all do such a great job of partnering with me during these live streams to remind me of stories or to ask advice, and just being respectful and just being a great community. And so thank you for what you bring to the live stream. I mean, this is one of the things when you watch my video on the monetization journey that I really am grateful that I just on a whim started live streaming one night and started to meet all of you and connect with you and create the Discord community that we have, where we all can get better together and level up together, because that is what it's all about. And so, yeah, thanks for just being, and again, I'm not trying to pander to you to get a super chat or super thanks or anything like that, but it's just, this journey would not be the same without the community. Like if I was just sitting here speaking into the void and got a few likes on my videos and a comment here or there, or an Instagram like, or a few card sales, that's great. I mean, certainly that's part of the journey as well, but really what we get to create here together in the live streams is a ton of fun. Nightmare asks, when you watch PokeTubers, who are your top 3 YouTubers you watch consistently, short and long form YouTubers? Well, all the short form content is usually on Instagram. And so that's where I'll see reels and things like that. It's a lot, honestly, gosh, I'd have to go through and look at their logos. I can describe them to you, but there's one kid, I say kid, I would have to scroll through here and see their faces, but it really is a lot of the POV videos where people are being kind and giving cards to kids, or, you know, if somebody comes up and they've just beat cancer or something like that and they give cards to people. Man, I love that vibe in videos so much. I follow so many, if anybody follows me and they actually create Pokemon content too, I follow them back. And so there are times where my feed is incredibly busy. Like even now I'm scrolling through it to see if I can find a couple of them by name. Of course, PokePaster TCG, TJ, he doesn't really do much on Instagram. I mean, he does a few things, but not much. Show you, who is this guy? Is this one of the guys? Yeah, this guy here, Swan Semporium. I don't know if you can see the guy behind the counter there. Yeah, like these guys that do the POVs and they have chat that like donate money and they like hook kids up with cards and stuff like that. I'm a sucker for that content. I tried not to get into the just, oh, this guy, Pokeshawn 151. I love his stuff too. Yeah, this guy Pokeshawn is super fun to watch. He's super gracious and chill. And then there's one other. There's a guy in Jinxico. I like her content as well. She's fun to watch. When she pops back up, yeah, they're on the. I don't know if it's left or right on your screen, but there's a guy. He and his wife, and they're always wearing like a onesie, and he's always wearing the. Is it the Snorlax onesie that he has on? Oh, and Beard Dad. Gosh, you gotta love Beard Dad. I love his content as well. He's so kind, super cool. Beard Dad is one of the best. This guy here too. Like there's a lot of these guys that are just super kind and super chill, and they're just great for the community overall. I mean, I absolutely love that. Oh, this guy. If you're not this guy here, what is his YouTube or his Instagram? U1 TCG. YOU like you one WON TCG. This guy is inspiring. He is hardcore in the bulk game, but he and his girlfriend have this business, and he's so transparent with his numbers and his process, and he 3D prints things like his dividers and stuff like that. U1 TCG is, oh yeah, Oyama's a good one too. Yeah, he just did a video long form content up here in Minnesota, where he went to a bunch of shops around the Twin Cities. But really, the things I watch are, as far as YouTube long form content, is not based on entertainment. It's based on, does it kind of pique my interest from a business perspective? And so that's why even the one I showed you that I stumbled across today earlier, you know, anything like that is more of that like business content, like how to get better at what I'm doing, like what cards are moving right now, what do the trends look like, those kinds of things, as much as I'm not really in the speculation game. And then like last night when I was listing a bunch of the bulk reverse hollows and hollow foils, you know, I've been watching through the series, the Pokemon series, and so I'd never watched a full episode. So I think I'm 6 or 8 or 10 episodes into season 1. And it's so funny, like I was talking to my wife last night, how obnoxious those comics, I mean, those cartoons are. I mean, I think all comics from that era, and maybe it gets different as it progresses, but like that first season, the colors and the sounds and the noise and it's all very loud and like, you know, music oriented, and like, you know, you got the song at the beginning, and then you have the rap at the end where you're trying to learn all, at that point, 150 Pokemon, and then it plays the song again at the end that Jason Page sings. It's been a ton of fun, but like there's times I have to kind of like turn it down in my ears as I'm sitting here doing stuff, because it'll be over here on my side screen, and it gets a little overwhelming to my senses there. So, but yeah, Oyama Trading, I think that's what it is. Oyama Trading, he's really good as well. I agree. Let me see if I can find that video he did on. It's so funny. I open up YouTube, and there my face is. See if I can find the one where he came to. Oh yeah, like this one he just did 3 days ago. He went to Phoenix to the highest rated card shops. Can I find Pokemon cards in Kanazawa, Japan? I need to go watch that one. I haven't watched that one yet. Japan. Oh, yeah, I tested Minneapolis highest rated card shops. That's this one here that that my thing is on. Is it underrated ? Highest rated card shops? Yeah. So that was fun. I think he even went to Tom Brady's card shop in Mall of America on that trip. So, oh, thanks, man. We hit our goal. Thank you, Nightmare. Appreciate it. We did it. We did it. So Nick came in with 2. And Nightmare came in with 2, and Seth came in with 1. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, gang. I think that's going to do it for me. We got a decent pull tonight. Yeah, I agree. I do like the buyer POV videos. Sometimes if there's like some of the more long form versions of those on YouTube, I'll turn them on just as kind of background noise and just kind of have them playing in the background. I do like the ones though that don't have as much community involvement. So you're actually seeing the negotiation back and forth. It's not the answer to every kid that comes up to the table is, hey, yours is free. I do like to see the back and forth and that business negotiation back and forth. And so while I love to see cards and stuff given out to kids in those shorter snippets, if the whole stream is just people getting free cards, I do like to see the more of the business interaction than I do just the other. So that is a good note. I guess it's a good delineation. I mean, certainly I love to see kids get fun stuff, but at the same time, I do like to see the business side of it also. So, all right. Well, looks like I've got a couple orders to pack before I go to bed because the mail goes out at like around noon tomorrow. No, wait. Just kidding. Today's Saturday. I am so confused on what day of the week it is because I took the weekend off. No, I will do some order packing tomorrow. So hopefully some more orders will come in, and yeah, we'll make it happen. Yeah, I was curious if we'd have any more people stop by the stream on a Saturday night versus a Thursday night, but I'm sure there's a lot of other things out in the world that are vying for people's attention on a Saturday night than my bald head and my and my gray hoodie. And so thank those of you that stopped by tonight. Man, I really appreciate you being here. And again, I'm not pandering to you when I say I love what we're creating together. It is a ton of fun to create this content and to be a part of this community. And so I just got to get my selling game kicked back into gear. Now that I've been monetized on YouTube, I got to get my selling game in gear and get some more inventory. I have one of my buyers had a great interaction, but yeah, all 3 of my regular sellers, I said buyers, sellers, are really hitting pause on opening packs right now because of the 30th anniversary set coming up. So what is a guy to do? I guess I need to go visit some card shops and see if I can work out some deals. I may need to get scrappy. Maybe I'll do a video on that this next week or two where I'm just going to go around to local shops because there's dozens of them here in the Twin Cities and see if I can work out some deals with enough margin in them to keep adding to my inventory kind of in this lull right now. But we will see. Well, guys, it is 8:59, so we're gonna, how many more seconds until, I got 45 seconds until 9 o'clock. Thanks for being here tonight. I've already said that. I'm not gonna thank you again, but I do thank you. This has been a fun ride. And Nick, was it Nick that came in with the deep cut of, Nightmare. The state orders, yeah. Yeah, finished that back in November. That's a good milestone. So it took me I started selling in January of 2025, and it took me till November. It took me 11 months to get them all. But Z said, if I am home, I will always stop by if you're live, learning a lot from you and the community. Yeah, the community in Discord, with all of our minds and all of our experiences combined, it's amazing what we can do together. And so, yeah, I really do enjoy leveling up together. Friends asked me if I wanted to go see a New Kids on the Block concert tonight. I was like, no way, Jose. I have a YouTube live I need to watch. I could see NKOTB next week. Tickets were $7 a pop. That's how far New Kids on the Block has fallen, is $7 a ticket? Seriously? I mean, I grew up with New Kids on the Block. Like that, when I was in middle school, they were the thing. I remember all the girls in my middle school were just taken. I remember a bunch of the cheerleaders got together and they all went to go see a New Kids on the Block concert. I can understand $7 a pop back in 1989, maybe, but now it's that cheap. Maybe it was a big stadium. $7 a pop. How the New Kids on the Block, how the mighty have fallen. All right, what a weird note to end the live stream on, everyone. But thanks so much for being here tonight, everyone. We're going to do it again. I think we're going to get back on schedule for next Thursday. I might start doing a couple of these a week. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'm gonna, and for those of you that stick around for a few minutes after, I've realized that there's a delay on the stream, at least on my YouTube studio over here, from when I end here to when it ends there. And I didn't like how in a lot of my videos when I would say goodnight here and I would go ahead and click go offline on my Meld Studios, and then it would cut me off from like landing the plane over in my video. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm going to start saying, you know, my sign off, and then I'm just gonna go to camera 2 and just sit here and just kind of sort through cards for a few minutes. And then when I hear myself in my video say goodnight, then I'm gonna go off. So yeah. Let's see, what did he say? Have a great evening. Glad you had a great anniversary weekend. TickPick, the app I use for tickets, had New Kids on the Box, $7 each for balcony seats. Good night. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, everybody. Well, my name is Alan. This is Flip House Finds, and I'll see you in the next video.